Wayne Tinker is a lawyer by trade. He spent most of his career specializing in public and private financings, mergers, and acquisitions. Wayne is also a lecturer for both the business and legal faculties at the University of Calgary. He left the legal world to pursue various entrepreneurial ventures. Today we're going to find out about his role with Candor Consulting, a leading advisor to small and medium enterprises. Great to have you on Biz 101, Wayne.
Thanks,
Welcome.
Randy. Pleasure to be here.
So, lawyer turned entrepreneur turned business advisor. Tell us how that all unfolded.
Well, it unfolded probably over 20 or 25 years of seeing various sides, all sides ultimately, of financings, mergers, acquisitions, strategic partnerships and alliances, and I had the opportunity to work with some of the most creative and energetic and successful people in Western Canada, and
as a lawyer?
Yes, as a lawyer, and also as a director and officer involved in the management and financing of public issuers and stock exchange listed companies. And one of the stories we like to share was the time I spent with Ted Green from the Boston Bruins and Edmonton Oilers, and developing a fitness product from his kitchen sink, literally, in Edmonton, as he was rehabilitating himself, to fitness products that were sold through Weider and Reebok and on the cover of Time magazine. And through an experience like that, and I've since sought out others, I've found that my background and that of the people I know, and I rank you among them, have an answer if we ask for help and reach out to the right people, and can put together very creative solutions for what looked like business problems to entrepreneurs and existing companies that are trying to transition or get to the next level of development in their business plans.
Tell us some stories about working as a lawyer with some of the high flyers of the oil and gas business in Alberta. You're riding along and learning all about putting deals together. Yes. By being the lawyer.
Yes, I had a wonderful experience in public practice in Calgary for 15 years or so, and time was always when we write time is of the essence. It means just that the clock is important in any documentation or transaction. But in the story I want to relate is the chairman of an investment firm in Calgary that we were working with was they are notoriously hard to pin down, but I met with him and we signed documents on the trunk of his car on Fifth Avenue at a red light. Just so we could get things completed and filed on time and the transaction moving forward. So I don't know if that's an answer to your question or not, but there have been some very exciting times, and as I said, some work and the chance to learn from lawyers turned CEOs and corporate finance investors and angels who showed me that that legal perspective has a place in many aspects of growing corporations, from finance to human resources to licensing and partnership arrangements. So, as I said, I was blessed to work with some of the people that are household names now in Western Canada.
And like many Western Canadians in general, it all starts with a hockey story, because you played hockey back in Regina, and I think you still play hockey.
I do when I can. Yeah, it's been a long time thing with me. Yeah, I had some success and played in a great organization when I was younger, and then another great organization at the University of Saskatchewan. And throughout my career, it seems the affinity for the game and for product development and helping the game stay strong in this country has been a recurring theme in both my professional career and my choice of fitness activity.
Yeah, and those relationships from those bonds that you make as a teammate in university or junior hockey, they seem to continue on through life. And
Absolutely.
I know, so getting back to Candor Consulting, which is where you're hanging your hat these days, what does Candor Consulting do for a company? I think there's a company called Flare Skate, for example, to tie it into hockey.
Yes.
Give me an example of where Candor comes in with a this is a new skate technology, I guess.
You're exactly right. Flare Skate, based in Calgary, are the owners of new technology, a different shape to the skate blade. It hasn't changed in ever. More of 100 years that they've been playing the game. And this group has an inventive and it seems exciting and effective change in hockey technology that we've been asked to help support. So how do we get involved? How do we provide support? We try to work with the existing management team and stakeholders to clearly define their business mission, how they're going to get things to market, what amount of financing they might need, and where it should come from. Because in a manufacturing and distribution business like that, not all entrepreneurs or startup inventors understand how things actually get to Walmart. And how expensive it is to fill those pipelines in many cases, and where other sources of money are available. So we try to help them understand their business better, value their business better, and not give away the farm when it comes to needing additional working capital to get to the next stage of development.
We actually had on Business One-on-One the founder of a company called Front Funder, which is creating an online platform for raising money for private companies, which is a big hole in the marketplace, not only in Canada, but around the world. Before you're at the stage where you can go public and really have great access to capital, it's basically a hodgepodge. And a lot of entrepreneurs spend a lot of their time growing their company trying to figure out how to capitalize their company. Is this something that you found?
We find this every day, every case, every file. There is a Grand Canyon, if you will, between sources of startup capital for entrepreneurs and inventors, which is typically friends and family and the community around them, love money, in other words. A great canyon between the amount of capital that's available and the sophistication of the thinking at that level, and on the other side, being able to raise money efficiently and effectively through private or public capital markets. We refer now in Canada to the private capital markets as the exempt market, because they're relying on exemptions from the things you have to do as a public company. But there is a great gulf there. And there are many sources of capital, and people looking, angels and venture capital corporations, hedge funds, looking to put capital to work, but they're not finding each other. We try to help our various clients sharpen their focus and sharpen their amplitude so that they get noticed by the right kinds of people. But you're exactly right, and we see the same things perhaps in Front Funder, and have established a partnership arrangement with them so that we can complement each other's places in the capital markets business. And we're in pre and post capitalization advisory services, and a lot of it tends to be due diligence work on behalf of various investors. But Front Funder, I think, plays a pivotal role in this challenge to organize and better connect sources and requirers or companies needing capital. So we think Front Funder is in fact going to lead this, and we're big supporters of theirs, and look forward to that relationship.
In my experience, both as an angel investor and being involved in angel groups, like formal angel groups like the VA Angels in Western Canada, there's a big, you talk about a Grand Canyon, a chasm between entrepreneurs with their vision and in many cases, world-changing ideas and being able to execute on them. But more than that, there's a chasm between them just being able to talk to capital. It's as simple as an entrepreneur doesn't know how to present himself properly to his own bank to get money. And it's even more so when you're talking about equity investment.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's challenging, I agree, for most entrepreneurs and product developers or startup companies to understand what their audience is looking for. And so I think the only solution to a lack of experience is get some experience. And what's attracted me to Candor and to opening a Vancouver office for that organization is that we have a network, both in a physical sense with partners in Calgary and Edmonton and Kelowna and Phoenix and now Vancouver, but we have beyond that a virtual network of thousands of people, thousands of successful people that we've met as a group over the years. And when you hear the phrase, we know a guy who knows a guy or gal, that's one of our strengths, and we've complemented that with partnerships with Front Funder, as I mentioned. We are a sponsor of the VA Angels program, believe in that strongly, both in their work in Western Canada and abroad. There's some very interesting developments going on with that group. I know you're a supporter and a founder, I think, in some respects of VA Angels chapters, and so we think, as I've said before, they're building bridges across this Grand Canyon. Those two organizations in particular. Business Development Bank of Canada is also flexing its muscle and getting involved in the financing of small business and startups and acquisitions in this part of the world, and that's a nice marriage or balance between some debt capital that's available and the equity capital that we tend to find ourselves looking for, because we need to make the ratios work at the end of the day.
It's a different world than when we were hitting the market, X number of years ago. We won't go into any actual details there, but it used to be you come out of university or you come out of school, you go find a great company to get a job and build your career, work your way up the ranks. It isn't that way anymore for our millennials. A lot of them are starting their own businesses.
And that's the beauty of it. They can start their own businesses and choose where to live first and how to live first. And I'm referring to, I guess, the broad reach of the internet as both a place for improving financial literacy, helping this message get out that there is help. There are people that can help you get to the next level with your business or your idea. The tremendous reach in terms of eyeballs on new products, and essentially you can focus group the world with a crowdfunding campaign, which our partners Front Funder have their history and their genesis in crowdfunding applications. But also in the ability to attract financial support from all over the world. The securities regulators in this country and others are moving faster than they've ever had to keep good policy and good regulation in line with what the internet and the absolute blizzard of new products and new ideas and great technology that's coming out of Western Canada. Always has, but now it's, I think, getting the audience that it deserves. And so I'm encouraged to be playing a small part in helping capital formation and companies be successful in this part of the world.
Wayne Tinker from Candor, hockey player, lawyer, and now business advisor, but really you're a friend to the entrepreneur that's a little bit lost when it comes to accessing capital and what they need to do to move their company forward. Great to have you
Try
on
to
this
be.
one-on-one, Wayne.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks for coming.